Good morning, yogis, and welcome. This is a 60-minute Vinyasa level 1 and 2 class. My name is Kelly. I'll be leading you through your practice. Remembering as we practice today, no matter the level of student that you are, no matter the level of yogi, you can customize the practice to yourself, your own body, and how you're feeling today. Feel free to take breaks, feel free to modify when necessary, and you can always add in challenge if you would like. You might have been emailed a playlist for this class today. We're going to work on some Sun Salutations. So the email was entitled Surya, and if you didn't get the email, if you go to my Spotify, the playlist is under Surya. So I'll let you know when you can start that. For today's practice, it would be great if you had a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, that's absolutely okay. You could also use cushions or pillows. We're just going to use them throughout the practice for a little bit of support. So we can go ahead and start on our backs. So go ahead and lie down on your back, and you can hold on behind the back of the thighs as you lower yourself down. I'm actually going to have you start in something called constructive rest. So bring the feet out about mat's width distance and let the knees just tent in. And you can make the feet a little wider or narrower depending on your hips. You want to make sure you're comfortable here. The hands can be down by the side. You could cactus the arms if you'd like a little chest opening, or perhaps one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And just start to settle in for your practice this morning. So perhaps starting to connect in with your breath. One of the easiest ways for us to drop into our practice is to start to notice the breath. So perhaps breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe you deepen the breath. Starting to notice the sensations in the body, feeling the body, where it attaches to the mat, feeling how you feel this morning. So as I said, we're going to work on our Sun Salutations a little bit today, and I'm going to tell you why. We do quite a bit of Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutations, in our Vinyasa classes. And as we go on as practitioners or even as teachers, we tend to get so that we don't necessarily cue each part of the Sun Salutation anymore, and they can get sloppy. So even as an advanced practitioner, it's really nice sometimes to break down each part of the Sun Salutation just to kind of clean it up a little bit. It's also important to make sure we're doing it correctly, because if you've noticed, we do quite a few of them. And in doing that, when we've got this repetitive motion, we want to really make sure that we're taking care of our joints and that we're not creating wear and tear. Yoga is a lifelong practice. We want to make sure we're keeping our bodies safe. So as you continue to relax, just a little bit of history about Sun Salutations. So Surya Namaskar translates as salute to the sun, or Sun Salutation. It is a practice in yoga as exercise, incorporating a sequence of 12 gracefully linked asanas or postures. This sequence was first recorded in the early 20th century, but many people believe this series has roots in ancient yogi texts. For thousands of years, Hindus have revered the sun, which they call Surya, as both the physical and spiritual heart of our world and the creator of all life itself. The Sanskrit word namaskar stems from namas, which means to bow or to adore. The Sun Salutation is a meditation in motion. It allows us to use the body as an instrument of higher awareness so that we can receive wisdom and knowledge. The ancient yogis taught that each of us replicates the world, embodying rivers, seas, mountains, fields, stars, planets, the sun, and the moon. The outer sun, they believed, is in reality representative of our own inner sun, which corresponds to our subtle or spiritual heart. Here resides the seat of consciousness and higher wisdom. There are 12 names for the sun in Sanskrit. The Sun Salutation consists of 12 asanas done in succession. When one round ends, another one begins in a perfect circle. This series is a general tonic and complete warm-up for the entire body. It is said to remove bodily and mental tensions, improve circulation, stimulate the nervous system, and raise the body heat. All joints are loosened and lubricated. It offers greater flexibility to your spine. The muscles of the abdomen, pelvis, and spine are toned and strengthened. The breathing is regulated there by calming the mind. There are many variations of Sun Salutations linked with different lineages of yoga. For today's workshop, we're going to be working with Surya Namaskar A, which is from the Ashtanga and Vinyasa yoga lineage. Beautiful yogis. Let's take a couple of breaths together. If you would like to start the playlist, now would be a good time to go ahead and get that queued up. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. Beautiful. We'll do that 2 more times. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. 3rd time, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Really fill up, deepest breath so far. And then open the mouth, exhale, and release. Let it go. Sealing the lips, breathing in and out through the nose, perhaps beginning your Ujjayi pranayama, keeping the lips sealed as you're breathing in and out through the nose. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, just starting to reawaken the body. And we'll go ahead and let the legs lengthen out long on the mat, and then reach the arms up over the top of the head. So taking a nice full body stretch. Reaching the toes to one side, the fingertips to the other. We'll begin with a lateral stretch. This one's called Banana Asana. So begin to walk your heels over towards the left side of your mat, in the left corner, and then walk your wrists over to the left corner of the mat. So both shoulders and both hips stay on the mat. You look like a banana on the floor. You can cross your right ankle over your left, or your left over your right. You can take the fingers of your left hand and encircle the right wrist if you would like, to take this a little bit deeper. So feeling the stretch down the right side of the body, perhaps imagining you could breathe a little bit deeper into the right lung. Releasing any bind that you've taken, walk everything back through center, and then we'll take it to the other side. So walk the heels over to the bottom right corner of the mat, and then the wrists over to the top right corner of the mat. Crossing the right ankle over the left, or left over right. Maybe try both, see which feels better. And take the pointer finger and the thumb of the right hand and encircle the left wrist. Maybe taking this just a little bit deeper. So you're lying flat on your back, both shoulders, both hips on the mat. Just feeling that stretch along the right side of the body. So this is just like our half moon that we take when we're standing up. We're just taking it lying on the floor in a different orientation. Maybe you can get just a little bit deeper when you take it this way. Yogis, releasing any bind that you've taken. Again, walk everything back through center. Take a nice full body stretch. And then begin to bend into the knees. You can plant the soles of the feet onto the earth and then hug the knees into the chest. You can hold on the top of the knees, or you can hold on behind the back of the thighs if you'd like. Take a little rock left and right. If that feels good, a little massage for the lower back and the sacrum. We'll start to warm up the hips a bit here. Interlace your fingers around the front of your right shin and plant the left foot on the earth. We're going to keep it planted here for the first part. Begin to bend that right knee a little bit deeper. Perhaps a little pressure from the hands on the front of the shin. You're encouraging that right knee to come in towards the right shoulder. Beautiful. From here, take your left hand onto your left hip and then just open your right knee out to the side. It might not land down. You can let it land down if you'd like. So you can kind of think like a half butterfly pose here. You can also take the right hand to the inside of the right knee if you'd like to press it open a little bit more. And taking the right hand to the outside of the right knee, lift that right knee back up to center, and then we're going to kick the right heel up towards the sky. So straightening the right leg, hold on behind the back of the thigh. You can flex the toes in towards the face. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring in the back of the leg. So our Sun Salutations ask a lot of our hamstrings, so we're going to take a moment here to warm them up. Again, perhaps a gentle encouragement of that leg towards the body helps to deepen the stretch down the back of the leg. Beautiful, and then rebend into that right knee, interlace the fingers around the top of the shin again, and then lengthen the left leg long this time. So left leg out long on the mat, taking this a little bit deeper. We're opening the front of the left hip. And then unhook the fingers, take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, right arm reaches towards the opposite side of the room, towards the right, and then bring that right knee across the center line and over to the left. So we've taken it into a supine twist. You could bend both knees if you'd like here and stack them if you prefer, or you could keep the left leg long. The gaze towards the ceiling, or perhaps even towards the right fingertips to take it a little bit deeper. Know that the shoulder might stay down and the knee lift, or the knee down, shoulder lift, or perhaps both are up. Doesn't matter, you take your twist where it works for you. Beautiful, and then we'll gently come back up through center, bend back into the left knee and hug both knees into the chest. We'll take the other side, let the right sole of the foot land down onto the earth so the knee is pointing up, interlace the fingers around the left shin, and then begin to encourage that left knee towards the shoulder. Using a little bit of strength here, we're creating compression in the front of the left hip joint. Releasing the grip, but keep the left hand on the outside of the left knee and just begin to let it fall out to the left. Now again, it might not come all the way down, or you can let it land down in kind of a half butterfly pose here. You take the left hand to the inside of the left knee, maybe the right hand is on the right hip. The right knee can also fall out a little bit if you need here for balance. Just asking that left hip to externally rotate. And then take the left hand to the outside of the left knee, hug the left knee back into the chest. This time we'll kick that left leg up long, so kick it up straight, the heel towards the ceiling, holding on behind the back of the thigh. Flexing the toes in towards the face will help to activate the hamstring on the back of the leg, and you might feel it a little bit deeper. And then again, you can encourage that leg any amount in towards your body if you're not feeling it yet. Taking the time with the hamstring, letting it start to warm up here. Beautiful. Releasing the grip, rebend into that left knee, interlace the fingers over the front of the left shin again, and then we'll take it a little deeper this time. Now you have the option to lengthen that right leg out long. Still squeezing that knee in towards the shoulder, maybe feeling the front of that hip flexor, the psoas of the right hip, stretch a little bit and open up. And here we'll take it into the twist. The right hand to the outside of the left knee, reach the left arm to the left, and then take that left knee across the center line over towards your right. You can gaze up towards the ceiling or over towards the left fingertips. And again, take your twist to where it works for you. Know you can bend both knees and stack them if that's preferred. Beautiful, yogis. And then slowly bring the left knee back up through center. Hug the right knee in with the left for a moment. Give yourself a little squeeze. Again, a little rock right and left if that feels good. And then let both feet plant down on the earth about hips width distance. We're going to take a couple of rolling bridges here just to connect in with the core and to warm up the spine. So if you reach down with your middle fingers, you can touch the back of your heels here. We are going to use the arms, but you have the option to keep the arms down if you would prefer. As you inhale, slowly begin to lift the hips up off of the earth, and then the arms come up over the top of the head. Reach up, and then exhale, slowly lower everything down, one vertebra at a time, and arms down by the side. Inhale, lift the hips up, arms up over the top of the head. You can go with your own breath. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Beautiful. Take 3 more rounds on your own breath of rolling bridges. Feel free to linger at the top for a little bit if that feels good, taking your time. You'll find today that I cue you quite often to go with your own breath. That's very important. We link our sun salutations to our own breath, so you might be off my cueing. Know that that's absolutely fine. When you've taken the end of your 3rd round, you land down onto the earth, hug the knees into the chest one more time. Cross the ankles. If it's okay on your spine, hold on behind the back of the thighs and perhaps begin to rock yourself up and down. This time the length of the spine. If this doesn't feel good on your body, feel free to skip it. Eventually we'll rock up and we'll meet in a comfortable seat. So we'll find Sukhasana or easy pose. So the legs are crossed here. It doesn't matter which one is in front. And in fact, I'd like you to open it up a little bit more. So make sure that your shins are parallel to the short edge of your mat or whatever edge of the mat that you have close to you. So we're opening it up a little bit more for a comfortable seat. Beautiful. Continuing to warm everything up. As you inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head. You can look up, connect the palms. As you exhale, hands to heart center. This is Anjali Mudra. Beautiful. Release the arms. Inhale, reach them up. As you exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. One more time here, warming up the shoulders. Release the arms, and then inhale, circle them up, look up. This time, as you exhale, cactus the arms. Take them out to the side. Take a gentle back bend here. Really open up the chest. Beautiful. And then inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, hands come down to heart center. Bring the hands down in front of you and then begin to walk them forward any amount. You can tuck your chin into your chest. Take a little stretch for your hips. Beautiful. And then slowly walk the hands back. Walk the hands behind you. Fingertips are facing towards your body. Now this doesn't work in everyone's body. If it doesn't work for you, feel free to skip it. Otherwise, press in your hands and see if you can just lift your hips up any amount. So we're stretching out the front of the groin here. Keep your chin tucked into the chest. We're not going to drop our head back here. We're just stretching out the front of the hips. Beautiful. And then exhale, slowly lower everything down. Keep your hands where they are. Lean back, uncross the legs, switch them out. So now the opposite one is in front. And as you're ready, inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head. As you exhale, right hand comes down, reach your left fingertips across. Take a nice side body stretch here. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. We'll take the other side, left hand down, reach the right fingertips. Beautiful. Inhale, come up through center. As you exhale, hands to heart center. And again, hands in front of you, begin to walk them forward. Take that forward fold. Maybe noticing differences when your other opposite leg is in front. Know that our bodies are not symmetrical. You can always take different variations on each side of a posture. Beautiful. Walking those hands back in towards the body, rise up. Again, bring the hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards your body. Know that you can just lift your chest here if you'd like. Or if you have the space, see if you can begin to lift your hips up. So the knees come down towards the earth. Again, chin into chest here, not taking the neck into it. Our target area is the front of the groin and also the insides of the legs. Beautiful. And slowly lower down. Uncross the legs, sit to the side, and then we're going to come into our neutral tabletop position. So our knees are underneath our hips, our wrists are underneath the shoulders. Have the blocks nearby you. We'll use them in a moment, but we don't need them quite yet. Warming up with a little cow and cat action here. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up. And then exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, tilt the tailbone down, tuck the chin in. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up. And exhale, chin to chest, press the earth away. This is cat. 3 more. more on your own breath. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up, cow. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, feel the shoulder blades stretch. Beautiful, 2 more, and feel free to add in any intuitive movements that feels good in your body as you're taking your cow and cat. Beautiful, yogis. And once you've completed your rounds, we meet back in a neutral spine. Bring your knees a little bit closer together here, and then tuck your toes underneath. We're gonna walk the hands back to sit on the heels. Now, unfortunately, this is called broken toe pose, and it's called that for a reason. If you need to, find your blocks and use the hands on the blocks to lift yourself up a little bit if it's too much pressure. If it's absolutely still too much, feel free to just sit on the tops of your feet if that works, or just find a comfortable seat. We're gonna warm up our wrists a bit. So we use our wrists quite a bit in our Surya Namaskar, or our Sun Salutations. So let's take our arms up over the top of the head. Beautiful. Exhale, find those cactus arms again. And then reach the arms out long to either side of your mat. Spread the fingertips wide here. And then as you exhale, close the fingertips in, make a fist. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, close it. Beautiful. Continue on. Now maybe you start to speed it up a little bit, so you don't have to go with your breath here. This actually will create a bala and peach very quickly. This looks easy, but it is not. So going as fast as works for you. Again, we're just warming up those wrists and fingers. Beautiful. Go ahead and stop, and then shake out the hands really quick. Beautiful. Keeping the arms out long, just begin to circle the wrists. Doesn't matter the direction you're going, we'll go both. You might notice this actually is an arm workout too. Go ahead and stop and take it back the other direction. Beautiful. And go ahead and stop. And again, just shake out the wrists. You can bring your hands a little bit closer to you. All right, one more stretch. If you can, bring your fingertips down onto the earth, tent them, and now flip your palms so that the backs of your hands are touching on the mat so you can see your palms up towards your face. And maybe just lean back a little bit here. So this takes a little bit of pressure off the toes. It's also stretching the front of the forearms out. Beautiful. Go ahead and release that. Bring your hands down. Untuck the toes. Reflip them over and perhaps tap them on the top of the mat. Perhaps you forgot about those toes while we were doing all of that with our wrists. Maybe not. Beautiful, yogis. From here, widen the knees a little bit. Let the big toes touch. Let's sit back into child's pose for a moment. This is Vinyasa. So child's pose, always a nice place to come to reset, to relax for a moment if you need to catch your breath, if anything becomes overwhelming. Beautiful, yogis. Reach your fingertips forward here. Really place the pads of the fingers into the mat. Imagine that you could almost grab the mat to pull it back towards your body. So we're going to activate the hands a bit here. Really feeling a stretch on the sides of the body. And then as you're ready, inhale, rise up. We come back into our tabletop position and then step your feet back. We find high plank. So this is Phalakasana. This is the top of a push-up, and this is one of our 12 asanas in our Surya Namaskar A. So the eyes of the elbows, or the creases of the elbows, are lined up with the thumbs here. The collarbones are wide, navel is into the spine. Try to make sure the heels are over the toes. Your body is like a plank of wood. Know that you can always have your knees down. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale and hold. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. And then bend the knees, let them land down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Bend the elbows towards the back of your space. And as slow as possible, keeping your body like a plank of wood, lower yourself all the way down. Once you reach your belly, your hands are underneath your shoulders. The tops of the feet are touching down on the earth. Can you press the fronts of your hips into the mat as well? We're going to find Cobra pose or Bhujangasana. As you inhale, just lift your head and your heart up off of the mat. Squeeze the elbows in. Beautiful. Exhale, slowly lower down. We'll take that again. As you inhale, lift up Bhujangasana. So this is our first back bend. And exhale, slowly lower down. We'll take one more here. As you inhale, rise up, Cobra pose. And exhale, slowly lower down. Let the forehead touch down. Let the arms come down by the side. You can look to the right for a moment and let your left ear touch down onto the mat. So we're going to go through a couple variations of back bends that you can use. Traditionally, we use either Cobra or Up Dog in our Surya Namaskars, but there is an option to take another back bend if that works better in your body. From here, we're going to find Locust pose, doing it in pieces. So bring your forehead down onto the mat. The legs are going to stay down for this first set, so press the tops of the feet down. As you inhale, lift your head and heart up, just like Cobra, and now lift your arms up. The palms can be facing the ceiling, or they can face each other. Can you lengthen your body out as you press the tops of your feet into the floor? And then exhale, slowly lower down, forehead down just for a moment. So you can do that again, or this next round, we'll add in the legs. As you inhale, lift your head and heart up, lift your arms up, and then go ahead if you'd like, lift your legs up off of the mat. Locust pose, Shalabhasana. Can you make everything really long as you lift up just a little bit higher? And then exhale, slowly lower down, forehead down. We have one more round. Now know that you can do either of the two that we've already taken, or I ask you if you'd like to interlace your fingers behind your back. Maybe the palms are together. And then as you inhale, lift up, locust pose with a bind this time. So just a little deeper in the shoulders here. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and slowly lower everything down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up to a tabletop position. We'll take one round of cow and cat. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up. And exhale, chin to chest. Round the spine. Beautiful. We're going to do one more thing before we move on. We're going to take a supported upward facing dog here. So upward facing dog for some people is too much of a back bend, but when you do it with a little bit of support, you might find that it works better for you. So you're going to feel your own body here. So if you know that up dog is not for you even with support, feel free to just take some cobras here. Otherwise, locate your blocks. And you want to measure your blocks so that they're on your hips. Or I'm sorry, your thighs. So you want them right on the bottom of your hips and above your knees. So you're going to have those blocks there for support. So you're in tabletop to start, and then tuck your toes and just bring yourself forward onto the blocks. So we're going to keep the toes tucked for this upward facing dog. And then we've got the support of the block here, blocks. So if you feel compression in your lower back, I want you to already know that this is too much for you. Please don't take it. But if everything feels okay, see if you can start to drop the shoulders away from the ears and bring the chest forward. So you're widening the collarbones here. And I want you to come forward just as much as you're lifting up. Take this opportunity to really stretch out the front side of the body. So Urdhva Mukha Svanasana can be a very large back bend. Doesn't work for everyone. Take a couple more breaths here. Just working into it. Beautiful, yogis. All right, bend into those knees. Come back into tabletop. You can remove the blocks off to the side for a moment. We're going to find downward facing dog. So walk the hands, one hand print forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips up high, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So body looks like an upside down letter V. Begin to bend into each opposite knee one at a time. Take your dog for a walk. Take a couple of moments here just to feel it out. So we want to try to lengthen the tailbone the most that we can up towards the sky. So for a moment, bend into both knees here. So have a bend in the knees. This takes it out of the hamstrings. And then see if you can lift your tail tailbone up just a little bit higher. So tailbone towards the sky, and then press your chest back towards your thighs. That'll help it even more to lengthen the tailbone up. So you're relaxed across the shoulders, you're using the finger pads into the earth to grab your mat. And now from here, if you'd like, you can begin to straighten your legs any amount, but know that you can always have a nice bend in the knees if you'd like. The heels might start to come down towards the earth, they might not, just depends on where you are. Beautiful, yogis. As you inhale for a moment, come up high onto the toes, just lift the heels up, and then open the mouth, exhale, drop the heels down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, come up high onto the tippy toes, open the mouth, exhale, drop the heels down. 1 more time. Inhale, come up high onto those tippy toes. As you exhale, lower the heels down. Inhale, look forward in between your hands. Now again, come up high onto those tippy toes, and then take lots of little steps to get to the top of the mat. Take your time. Once you reach the top of the mat, take your 2 fists in between your 2 big toes. You're measuring your inner hips with distance. Now I'd like a generous bend in your knees. This is Uttanasana or forward fold. The fingertips can be down onto the earth. The chest is touching the belly here, so they're connected. You can wrap hands around opposite elbows here, if I'm ragdoll pose. Maybe rock back and forth a bit here. So try to keep that chest attached to the thighs here. So we're not taking it too much into the hamstrings yet. Beautiful, and now release the fingertips down onto the mat. Again, this is your forward fold. Lengthening out with a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Slide your fingers to your shins and then lift your shoulders even with your hips. There's still a bend in your knees here. I want to see if you can lengthen out your spine. So take the round out of your spine. See if you can press your belly button towards the earth. Think almost of that upward facing dog as you lengthen out even more. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. This is a really important part of our Sun Salutation that sometimes gets looked over. As you exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. 1 more time. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. The crown of the head is reaching away from the tailbone. And exhale and fold. Keeping your head and arms heavy, begin to roll yourself up 1 vertebra at a time. If you get dizzy, feel free to bring the arms forward and up over the top of the head. Connect the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. This is Samasthiti. Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring the arms down by the side. Let the palms spin forward. Feel the feet rooted into the earth. So mountain pose, again, another part of our Surya Namaskar A, one of the 12 asanas that we're going to take. So feel this one out. Take a couple of sun breaths here, and then we're going to eventually put it all together, I promise. As you inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head. Look up. As you exhale, connect the palms, hand to heart center, bend the knees, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. This time, inhale, root to rise, circle the arms up over the top of the head, look up, connect the palms. As you exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Release the arms down by the side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. As you inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head, look up. As you exhale, connect the palms, hands through heart center, bend the knees, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head, connect the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Release the arms down by the side, Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to begin to connect everything now. And remember, this could be with your own breath, so you might be a little off my cueing. I'd like to use your breath, for you to use your breath with your pace here. As you inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head, connect the palms. As you exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant the hands. This time, step the feet to the back of the mat. We're going to find downward facing dog. Lift the hips up high. We'll take a breath together here. Inhale in through the nose. Keeping the lips sealed. Exhale through the nose. As you inhale, roll forward, one vertebra at a time. We find that Phalakasana, or high plank. As you exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes, lower all the way down onto the belly. Modified Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep those elbows tucked in. As you're ready to inhale, rise up. Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Know that you could take Locust as well. As you exhale, lower down. Press into the hands, come up onto the hands and knees. Tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips up high. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale in through the nose. Keep the lips sealed. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, look forward in between your hands. Bend your knees, come up high onto the toes. You can walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up over the top of the head, connect the palms. As you exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful. One more round, slow. Release the arms down. Inhale, circle them up. This time, if you'd like, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the opposite foot to the back of the mat. Find your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One breath here. Inhale in through the nose. Seal the lips. Exhale through the nose. As you inhale, roll forward into high plank. As you exhale, knees down, untuck the toes. Keep the spine lengthened here. Just bend the elbows. Lower down like a plank of wood. Use your core all the way down. As you're ready to inhale, find Cobra pose, Bhujangasana or Locust. And exhale, lower down. Press into the hands and knees. Maybe this time you come right back up into downward facing dog or through tabletop. Beautiful. Again, one more breath here. Inhale in through the nose. Seal the lips. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Bend into those knees. Come up high onto the toes and maybe hop, step, or walk to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Really lengthen the spine. Don't rush this. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up over the top of the head. Connect the palms. As you exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Arms down by the side for a moment. Find Tadasana, mountain pose. So that's one variation of Surya Namaskar A that you can do. We're bringing our knees down. We're using Cobra pose. We're going to move on from there, but know that you can continue to take what we've already done. As a note, also taking cow and cat on your knees can be considered a vinyasa as well, if that's where you are in your practice today. Beautiful yogis, continuing on with Surya Namaskar A. As you inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head. As you exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot and then the left, this time back to high plank. So we're skipping that downward facing dog. We're in our high plank now. Navel is into the spine. So I leave it up to you. Knees are up or down here. As you exhale, if the knees are up, lower halfway down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, body looks like a plank of wood. As you're ready, inhale, flip the toes over. Maybe this time you find upward facing dog. So just the palms and the tops of the feet are touching down. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe you roll over the toes. Staying here for a breath. Inhale in through the nose. Seal the lips, exhale through the nose. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms up over the top of the head. As you exhale, hands to heart center, arms down by the side. Beautiful. We're gonna do 2 or 3 more rounds together and then we'll move on. Inhale, circle the arms up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step the left and then the right foot back to your high plank. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, knees are up or down. Lower halfway down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or all the way to belly. Don't rush it. When you're ready to inhale, then find Cobra or Up Dog. And then exhale, Downward Facing Dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stay here for just a moment in your Downward Facing Dog. If you need to, you can find it Child's Pose. So one of the biggest things that starts to happen when you do the Surya Namaskar A is that we get going really quick and we stop thinking about our breath. So I want each movement to be the entire breath. So don't take your back bend, your Cobra or your Up Dog until you're ready to inhale. And then until you're ready to exhale, you don't go back into your Downward Facing Dog. So really put it together. Really notice what you're doing as you're going through. It's not just a completely mindless action here. It is a moving meditation, but stay present. All right, yogis, coming back to Downward Facing Dog if you took a break. As you inhale, look forward, prepare. Walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head, and exhale, hands to heart center, arms down by the side. So the last thing we'll add in here for the last 2 that we'll take, there's a lot of different things you can do in your Surya Namaskar A. Believe me, you can make it really fancy. You can do handstands, you can do all kinds of funky stuff. But we are gonna work a little bit on a jump back today. For my classes, when you jump back, it is very important that you land with bent elbows. So you land in Chaturanga, you do not land in high plank. Doing it a couple of times will certainly not hurt you. You can do that movement, but it's the repetitiveness that we do this in yoga that will really start to tear down your shoulders. So it's very important, if you want to work on those hop backs, that you are landing with that Chaturanga arm, so those bent elbows. All right, let's try it. Inhale, circle the arms up over the top of the head. As you exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, bend your knees, maybe hop back, Chaturanga. As you inhale, find your Cobra or Up Dog. And exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Remember, it's always an option just to step back. You never have to do the hop back if you don't want to. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Beautiful, arms down by the sides. I'm gonna make you do 2 more, and I want you to do them kind of on your own breath. I'm gonna continue to cue them, but if you'd like to go on your own, feel free to do so. Inhale, circle the arms up. As you exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana, lower down halfway or to belly, and then as you're ready to inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. 1 breath here, inhale in through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head. And exhale, this time fold it right back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha. Plant the hands, step or hop to the back of your mat, Chaturanga Dandasana or belly. As you're ready to inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. And exhale, Downward Facing Dog. 1 breath here, inhale in through the nose, seal the lips. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, look forward, prepare. Walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up over the top of the head. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Release the arms down by the side. Again, we find Tadasana pose for a moment. Just take a couple of breaths here. So our Surya Namaskar A's are part of almost every Vinyasa class that we do. On the solstices of the year, we do 108 of them. That can be a lot of fun with the changing of the seasons. But you can imagine they do get your heart rate going even when you just do 5 of them. So they're a really good exercise as well. Again, it's important to be able to piece them together and to do each piece correctly because we do them so repetitively. They're a beautiful movement, and that saluting to the sun is always nice. Let's work a little bit on our balance before we finish up today. We're going to find tree pose. So I want you to root down through your left foot and hug your right knee beginning into your chest. So just hug it in your chest to begin. You can interlace the fingers around the front of that right shin. And you can pull that shin or that knee in just a little bit. So this is the same thing we did on our back. We're just now doing it standing. Now begin to turn that right knee out to the side, and the left hand can come onto the left hip. That right foot can come to the inside of the ankle, the shin, or the inside of the thigh if you would like. Try to root down through all 4 corners of that standing foot. Hands can come to heart center if you would like. You could grow your branches and reach up. So I like to think of tree when we're working on sun salutations, because you can imagine you're a tree reaching for the sun. If this is easy for you, I want you to challenge yourself. So do something different with your arms. Maybe you find cactus arms. Maybe you wave them around. Maybe you start to work in towards a back bend. Or maybe even my personal nemesis, you start to work on closing your eyes. So when something becomes easy, you always want to challenge yourself. So the idea that you fall out of this posture is actually good, because that means that growth is happening. If you stay stagnant and just do things that you're good at all the time, that doesn't leave any room for growth. Beautiful yogis, let's bring hands to heart center, and then let that right knee come forward, and then let it drop down by the side. You can shake it out a little bit before we take the second side. This time we're going to stand down through that right foot. Now take a moment to really lock that foot into the floor. So this is our foot lock here, and then hug your left knee in towards your chest. Interlock the fingers, or you can hold on behind the back of the thigh. We're just taking a little stretch here first. Now we'll externally rotate that left knee. So the right hand onto the right hip, and then the left knee comes out. Find where you'd like to put that foot, and it can be tapped on the floor to the inside of the ankle, the calf, or the inside of the thigh. You definitely want to avoid the knee. We don't want to push the knee laterally to the side, so the foot does not go on the knee here. Hands can be heart center. Again, you can work a different variation on this side. And you really work on letting these hips open a little bit. So we've got external rotation here. Again, challenge your balance in some way. Do something different. You can even find the Yoga Mudra seal or the Yoga bind behind your back. You could find reverse namaskar if you'd like to practice that. It's working on your balance here, your integrity. Finding one unmoving point on the floor or in front of you to stare at, that's called your drishti gaze. That really helps with balance. Beautiful yogis, let's bring hands to heart center. Turn your left knee forward, and then let your left foot come down onto the earth. Arms down by the sides. Beautiful. Let's turn to the side on the mat. We're going to stretch out the back of the legs. We're going to find a wide-legged forward fold. So begin to step your feet far apart. We want our feet to either be parallel or a little pigeon-toed here. So make sure that the heels are not in and the toes out. That's not what we want. We want the opposite. So the toes are in and the heels are out, or feet parallel. Hands can come onto the hips here. Take a moment to really lift the chest. Try to lengthen the spine, and then just lower halfway down. So begin to tip forward. So we're not rounding the spine here. In fact, you can even look forward a little bit here. Try to lengthen the spine out. Now you bring your hands down onto the earth, or you could bring the hands to blocks here. So from here, you can stay here with the hands underneath the shoulders. You could perhaps even widen the feet a little bit if that feels good. You could use the blocks to bring elbows down onto the mat or blocks. And then see if you can let the head hang for a moment. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. If you work to pull the kneecaps up a little bit towards the hips, so that's engaging the quadriceps on the front or tops of the legs or thighs. That will help to lengthen the hamstrings in the back of the legs. Our hamstrings are fairly open from our work today, so we'll take advantage of it. Take a couple more breaths here. Eventually, we all meet with our hands underneath our shoulders. We take a nice halfway lift. So again, we're lengthening the spine. And then begin to toe heel the feet in a little bit, so they're a little bit closer. Maybe about hips width distance is what I'd like you to find here. And then we're gonna find Padangusthasana. So take your peace fingers around your big toes. Again, we have about 2 fist widths in between the toes. So big toe grip here, bend the knees, attach the stomach to the chest, and then allow the head to drop down. So it's a very deep forward fold. The elbows can come out to the side, and you can fold just a little bit deeper. If you're not feeling this, you begin to straighten your legs a little bit here, but don't overdo it in the back of the hamstrings. Take your time. Trying to lengthen and sandwich the body here. So imagine the crown of the head can come down just a little bit closer to the floor. Beautiful. And go ahead and release that. We inhale, find halfway lift. Bring your right hand onto the mat in front of your face or a block, and then bend pretty deeply into that right knee. We're going to take the left hand onto the left hip. Turn the left elbow up. And then the gaze can start to look up towards the ceiling. If you get here and you're still comfortable, you can reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. So we're just taking a twist here. Remember, you have a bend in your right knee, but the left leg is straight. Beautiful. And go ahead and bring that left arm down. We're going to replace the left hand where the right was. So in front of the face, in the center of the mat. So make a triangle with your feet and your hand, and then bend deeply into that left knee. Right hand onto the right hip. Turn the right elbow up first, and then the gaze can follow. And if it still feels okay, reach the right arm up towards the sky. So nice deep twist here. One more nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll take one final vinyasa here. Step your feet to the back of the mat, find your high plank. Lower either halfway or all the way to belly. As you inhale, find your back bend, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, and release. Bringing the knees down onto the mat. You can sit down on your heels, walk your hands back in towards your body, and then sit to the side and kick your feet out in front of you. Shake the legs out for a moment, just letting them stretch. Beautiful. And then begin to bend your right knee in towards your body. So we're going to just give that right knee a hug for a moment. So this is Marichasana. So hugging that right knee, you can flex the left toes if you would like. And from here, you can either stay here. We have an option to find a twist. So you take your left hand or left arm around your right knee, right hand behind you, lengthen the spine up first, and then twist to the right. Gently release your twist, come back to center, and then we'll let that right leg lengthen out long. And again, we can bounce the knees out for a moment. And then as you're ready, hug the left knee into the chest. Again, just begin by giving it a hug for a moment, creating that compression in the front of the hip, the psoas. So this is Marichasana. It's kind of like half Lord of the Fishes, but not really, because we keep the foot on the outside or the inside this time instead of stepping it over. So you can stay here, or we can take it into the twist. The right arm hugs the left leg. The left arm comes behind you. You lift up, and then you twist to the left. Beautiful, yogis. Gently releasing your twist. Lengthen out your legs. Bounce them out if you'd like. And then we're going to lower down on the back, but if you'd like, I'm going to offer for you to find your block. We can end in a supported bridge here. If you'd like to take regular bridge, you can feel free to do so. Setu Bandhasana. Hold on behind the back of the thighs and slowly lower yourself down. If you're taking supported bridge, which I highly recommend, find your block and press into your feet. Just gently lift your hips up and slide that block underneath your sacrum. So you want it to really support your pelvis here. You don't want it up higher in your lower back. You want it to be supportive down pretty low on the hips. So pretty much the booty is on it here. You can stay exactly here. You can bring the arms out to the side. You could find those cactus arms again. Know that you could always have two blocks next to each other if you need a little bit more width. And you have the option here to straighten the legs out long. So this just takes it a little bit deeper. So this allows the front of the hips to open up. If you've been sitting a lot, this supported bridge is a nice one to take because it just allows everything to open, because we tend to always have this hip angle at a 90-degree angle, so we don't allow it to open. So this stretches the psoas in the front of the hips, what we usually call our hip flexors. So just take a couple breaths here, allowing everything to open. Know that you can also reach your arms up over the top of the head if you'd like to kind of take that full body stretch. I do usually recommend the lowest setting for the block, but the medium setting would be okay too if you're feeling really open. Just make sure you replant your feet to change that setting if you'd like to. Yogis. We'll take a couple other variations here. If you've taken your arms up over the top of the head, bring them back down. Bend into your knees. Plant the soles of the feet onto the earth. And then hug your knees into your chest. And again, this should feel supportive here. You can rock a little left and right to give your sacrum a little massage on the edge of the block if that feels good. If it doesn't, then don't do it. And we're going to send our legs up the wall. So supported Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. This is sometimes called waterfall pose. Just letting your feet come up towards the ceiling. You can have a gentle bend in your knees here. So this is a really nice way to end class. This is also a nice way to end your day. So know that if you have the block underneath the hips, it makes it more supportive and it takes it out of the core. If you don't have a block, it's going to be a little bit more of a core workout, which is good too, depending on what you want. Also know that you can do this with your legs literally against the wall, and that makes it a little bit more restorative. Really nice posture to take before bed, helps to slow everything down. Also reverses the flow of fluid, so if you get fluid buildup in your ankles from sitting a lot, or what I call kinkles, this actually helps to alleviate that. So allowing that extra fluid to drain back down so your lymph system can take care of that for you. You can stay exactly where you are, or the last thing we'll do is a supported happy baby. So just begin to bend into your knees. And you don't have to hold on to your legs here. You can just bend the knees and kind of let them fall out. So the thighs should come on kind of to the belly. You can also hold on behind the back of the thighs. Or if you really want to, you can hold on to your feet or your big toes. Making it as supportive as you want here. Again, you have that option to rock a little left and right if that feels good. If it's too intense, then skip it. Once you've had enough of that, you let the feet land back down onto the earth. And then lift the hips up, remove the block. Let the hips lower down and just let the knees tent together for a moment. Again, this is constructive rest where we began. So the feet can widen a little bit here if you'd like. Arm variations, whatever feels good for you. So you can take this as your final Shavasana or on your way to your final Shavasana. So know that if you'd like to either let your legs lengthen out long now, or perhaps even take Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees come out wide, you can. Did some hip opening today, but not a lot, so maybe you'd like to take that at the end of your practice. You always take it supportive with blocks underneath the knees. Take a little bit of time for yourself here, just to relax and release, letting your practice go. So again, many of us practice Sun Salutations all the time, but we don't always take the time to go through each individual asana and make sure that we're doing it correctly. Remember, it's not just me being a picky, mean teacher, it's me doing it so that we keep our joints safe because we take it so often. As teachers, a lot of times we say, take your vinyasa, and we don't even finish telling you what you're doing. And if you're a newer student, you're like, what is she talking about? What is this vinyasa? So it is important to kind of brush up on the foundations of the practice sometimes, because that's what we build on. And if we have a shaky foundation, that's not certainly going to help us to have a stable building and a lifelong practice, which is what we really want in yoga. So you can remain in your final Shavasana today to end. If you would like to press yourself up to a comfortable seat to close out your practice, feel free to do so. Just have you roll onto your side first, maybe taking that full body stretch on the way. If you're meeting me in a comfortable seat, you can again find Anjali Mudra, so you can bring the palms together at heart center, pressing the thumbs into the sternum into the thumbs. You can close your eyes and tuck your chin into your chest. Wherever you are, I'm going to end today with a farewell blessing. This is from the Kundalini Yoga lineage. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Again, may the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Namaste, yogis.